Thank you for purchasing this 1975 Nishijin Pachinko machine. This quick start guide will show you how to set it up and begin playing. Originally these machines were mounted in the walls of Pachinko parlors. We've attached some boards to the bottom to stabilize it so that you can set it on a table and it won't fall over. Now we'll add some balls to the play tray, about 25 or so. There is a receiving tray here, so if ever your play tray is full of balls, you can push this blue lever here over to the left and the balls will flow from the play tray to the receiving tray. Sometimes there's so many balls here that the weight of them will cause them to jam, so you just loosen the jam by taking your finger and pushing the balls around. So we'll go ahead and pull back on this. Okay, and to the left of the receiving tray, there's your ashtray. You can flip it over into your ashtray. The first thing you'll want to do is make sure that the ball drain lever is in the locked position. So we'll zoom in here. This metal lever here is your ball drain. See these white levers? When they can move like that, then it's in the unlocked position and balls will fall straight through. So to lock it, you take this tab here and you're going to push it to the right until it engages with this notch. Okay, now they're in the locked position. Also, there's a little piece of metal up here with a weight. You just want to make sure that's flipped down like that, and it kind of levels the balls. So as the balls go down this track, it levels them down to one high so they can make the turn. Now the number one problem with Pachinko machines is the one ball seesaw in the wrong position. When it's in the wrong position, you won't get paid any jackpots, balls will back up in your machine, and they'll cause jams and all kinds of other problems. So this white piece of plastic here is the one ball seesaw. It has a couple of balls in it that act as counterweights, and right now, like I say, it's in the wrong position, so to reset it, there's a little metal pin here, and you're just going to push up on that pin, and as you do, the seesaw will reset into the proper position. Now we'll connect the battery. We'll just flip this over. I'm just going to let it touch. You'll actually want to snap it when you're ready. And when I do that, you see this light come on. This light lets you know that your supply tray has run low on balls. And once you add balls to that tray, it'll activate this lever, which turns off the light. Let's take a look at the light from the front. So this red lens over here, whenever it comes on and stays on, you know that you need to add balls to the supply tray. There are two other ways that you can tell if you need to add balls to the supply tray. The first is this little sign here in this window, this little N. If that ever pops down, you need to add balls. And when you add balls, the sign will pop out of the way. The other is if you're shooting and nothing is happening, and you can see that you've got balls in your play tray, there is a lever back here that blocks the flow of balls from here into the shooter lane behind this window. So if you look in there and you're not seeing balls, but you see them here, that's another indication that you need to fill up the supply tray. Now we'll load about 300 balls in your supply tray. It probably holds up to about 750. Now when we pour them in, they'll run down this track, make this turn, go down this track, and then they'll enter in this assembly here, which is your jackpot payout assembly. So it'll hold the balls until we get a jackpot. Next we'll place the bucket down here so that it's below this hole and this hole to catch the balls. Now to play Pachinko, I'll put my finger here under the finger rest bar, I'll grab this flipper with my thumb, I'll pull it all the way down, and I'll quickly let go. And when I do, it'll launch the ball in the play field. The ball will shoot up. It'll go up this track here, up and around the top, and then it'll hit a rebound bumper right behind that red and green part. Now when it hits that bumper, what it'll do is it will fall down and it'll start pinging off these nails. It'll bounce off the nails. It may hit these round circles, these spinners, that'll spin around and redirect the ball, and most of the time it'll fall and it'll go all the way down to the bottom and it'll exit right here and fall into the bucket we just put in back. And that's called losing. What you want to do is win. You want to get a ball to go into one of these pockets or into one of these tulips or into the main attraction. And if you get it into one of those, the lights over here will flash, you'll hear bell sound, and you'll get paid out balls in your front play tray. Now no matter which pocket you go in or which tulip, you get paid the same amount of balls. The only difference is if you can get it to go into some of the tulips, if this one was closed and you get a ball here, it'll open this tulip, for example. Right now all these tulips are open, which is great. It's much easier to get a jackpot, but once you get a ball in, it'll close. Let's play Pachinko. Okay, I pulled it down just a little bit and I got it to come up and just barely drop over here. So the further down you pull, the more power you'll have, and that's how you aim. And you can get it to aim over here, maybe you aim trying to get in the middle or over here. I'll pull a little harder. Okay, so we got a ball into this tulip. The tulip closed, the lights flashed, we heard the bell, and we got the jackpot. Now let's take a look at what happens when you get a jackpot. So when you get a jackpot, the ball will fall in one of those tulips or pockets, and then it'll roll down this track right behind this brown here. It'll roll down that track, it'll enter in your seesaw, which will pivot down, and it'll roll down this track behind the metal here, and it'll enter a vertical chute going down. And as it enters that chute, there is a long metal arm that goes all the way back, and the weight of the ball will cause that metal arm to pivot down. Now as that arm pivots down, let's follow the arm over. There's the metal arm, and it'll push up on that vertical rod, and that vertical rod goes all the way up here. It'll move all that metal linkage there, which will then activate a lever in your jackpot assembly, causing all the balls that are there to be released, and then the whole thing will reset and refill. Now when those balls are released, they drop down and they hit a metal plate that is behind here. They'll hit that plate, they'll fall down, and they'll roll across, and there's a bell right here. And so that's what you hear ringing. The balls hit this bell, it rings, and then they go out into your front play tray. Now if you get a lot of jackpots, the balls will build up in here and they won't hit the bell. They'll eventually instead come and drop down here, and there's a bell behind here, and they hit that bell and then go to your receiving tray. Let's take a look at a couple jackpots. Okay, let's take a look at what happens when you get a ball down the main attraction. It'll drop in, it'll hit the monkey. The monkey went down the tree, the alligator tried to grab him, and the monkey climbed back up the tree. We also saw that this tulip opened because it was closed. We'll do that again. Okay, that's it for this quick start guide. If you have any questions, you can check out the DVD we're going to include with this. It has several hours of information on Pachinko machines in general, how to troubleshoot, and tips and tricks on how to take care of them. Thanks so much. We hope you enjoy your machine.